doing.
You a fan, bro. Bust slow, the homies, I'm in the Lambo. Yeah, baby.
Tasked to find something to order some imaging.
Okay, and did you actually meet with Davion Murphy?
I did meet with Mr. Murphy, yes.
Okay, and was that at the jail?
At the jail here in Tampa, yes.
And did you do some type of evaluation or something with him?
I did a history, and I did a neurological examination.
And tell us what that is. What'd you do?
A neurological examination is different than a general physical exam because it focuses on the nervous system. The first part is called mental status. Then I'll assess cranial nerves, which are the nerves coming out of your brain to your head. And then the rest of the motor system, like arms and legs. I test for motor strength, tone, sensory examination, coordination, and gait, which is the ability to walk.
I could approach the witness. Well,
Yes.
actually, Judge, I think the state would be stipulating to the introduction of defense exhibit 4.
Okay, very good. Be admitted.
Thank you. These gadgets. Is this what you're kind of talking about?
Well, this is the first part, the mental status. So I do a standardized test for the mental status called a MOCA, Montreal Cognitive Assessment. And this is how he did.
So in that first section, the visuospatial or executive functioning, what was Mr. Murphy asked to do?
He was asked to complete the trails, which is the first task on the upper left side, where you're supposed to connect the 1 to the A to the 2, and connect the rest of them in the same pattern that's been established.
And then what about the cube?
You're supposed to copy the cube.
And how did he fare on both of these tests?
He did the trails okay, but the cube was not good at all.
Okay. And then draw a clock. How did he do on that?
The clock he did okay, except the hands, he couldn't figure out exactly where the 11 went on 10 past 11.
Okay. And is there a number of points that are assessed or given to each one of these different tasks?
Yes, on the clock, the contour of the clock is a point. The numbers are part on it, that's a 2, although one can argue his spacing is off because there's a lot of space in it between the 1 and 2 and the 2 and the 3, but I gave it to him. And the hands, that's what he failed, is the hands.
Okay. And then looks like you got 3 out of 5 on that points.
On naming, because he was able to name the lion, the rhinoceros, and the camel.
What I'm talking about here, the first.
Oh, yeah, 3 out of 5 on the,
3 out of 5.
yes.
And then on the naming,
He named the animals correctly.
3 out of 3. And then the memory portion. Tell us about what that is.
Memory portion is I give him the 5 words: face, velvet, church, daisy, and red. And I'll say that 3 or 4 times and have him repeat it to me. And then I'll say, I'm going to ask you these. I'm going to ask this of you in a few minutes if we do the rest of the test.
And how did you do on that?
He ended up getting 4 out of the 5 right.
And then you have something here that's called attention.
Yes.
What's that for?
This is where I tell him to repeat numbers, and I'll give him the numbers. First one is forward order, and the second one is reverse order, backwards.
Okay. And the points on that one?
He couldn't get he didn't do the one that was in reverse.
Okay. And then you've got language, abstraction, delayed recall, and orientation. Is this your initial evaluation kind of thing that you do, or is this something different?
This is part of the mental status component of the neurological examination.
And do you do that in the beginning or towards the end after you?
I do that in the beginning of the neurological portion of things.
All right. What else do you do in addition to this? Is there some type of exercises with the arms and hands or something?
Well, then I test his cranial nerves.
Okay, tell us about that.
So the cranial nerve is going to be testing for the nerves that go to your face and structures of your head. Part of that is going to be oculomotor, which is the eyes. So I'll have him follow my finger as I draw an H, and I'll watch his eye movements. And his eye movements, he had some jerking in his eyes. I couldn't call it nystagmus, but it was really bizarre. I've never really seen it before, but it's abnormal.
And how did you do that test?
I draw an H and have him fall.
And
I
how-
draw an H with my finger and have him fall, have him track my finger with his head sitting still.
So can you demonstrate for us?
Yes. Just follow my finger. And then you go in, check for convergence.
Is that similar to the horizontal gaze nystagmus test administered in DUIs, or similar?
It's going to be similar because they're looking for the same thing.
What is that?
Nystagmus,
Which is,
jerking of the eyes. There's usually a fast and slow component. It was close to nystagmus, but he had no fast and slow. It's all the same component. It's all just jerky.
and you had no reason to believe that Dave Murphy was under the influence of anything?
No, he was not. I mean, he's in jail, but I didn't think he was under influence of anything.
And you say you've never seen that before? Is that what you said?
It was just bizarre.
Okay.
I've been looking at a lot of eyes and I haven't seen him jerk quite like that.
But you have seen eyes that have jerked.
Yes,
And what is that a symptom of?
it's usually, it could be one of two things. One would be if he's currently experiencing vertigo, that can cause some nystagmus. He wasn't having any vertigo. So the other thing that causes it is be disruption in the brainstem, where the oculomotor nuclei exist. There's going to be some disruption to it. And usually you see that in people with brain injury is that they don't just damage their cortex or cerebral hemispheres, they damage their whole brain.
Okay. What other kind of physical testing or examinations did you do?
Next, I assessed his motor examination,
Okay.
where I have him resist deltoids, biceps, arm, wrist flexors and extensors, and hand intrinsics, leg flexor, leg extensor, quadriceps extensor, and foot dorsiflexion. And then he had 5 out of 5 of that. He was full strength, no weakness. But when I checked his tone was elevated. Now, let me
What
explain
does that mean? You say his tone
What's
was
that mean?
elevated? Yes.
So I have him with one arm, have him draw a circle, sort of like this. While I then work with the other hand, trying to have him relax. While he was doing this, he was unable to relax and exhibited a tone increase, and contrary to both sides. Most people, when you do that, they can relax because they're fully capable. He wasn't able to do that.
So what is that indicative of?
Upper motor neuron, basically somewhere in his brain is not working right.
Okay. Did you administer any other physical tests? And if you need to refer to your report, you're
Let me
more
look
than
at
welcome.
the-
Just tell me.
Look at this here. Then I did reflexes,
Okay.
deep tendon reflexes, which I use my reflex hammer and tap on his tendons and places.
And what did that tell you? If anything.
Well, he had normal reflexes in his arms, 2 out of 5. In his legs, in his patellas, he had 3 out of 5, but his ankle jerks were 1 out of 5. He also had a cross adductor.
A what? I'm sorry.
It's called a cross adductor.
Okay. What is that?
It's a pathological reflex.
Which means?
It means that he has an upper motor neuron problem. And basically, upper motor neurons is meaning spinal cord or brain.
Okay.
There's a problem. And the increased reflexes in patella and decreased his ankle jerks, telling me something else is going on.
What do you mean?
Well, then I did a sensory examination, and he had sensory loss, all compatible for a polyneuropathy.
You say polyneuropathy?
Yes, polyneuropathy.
And what does that mean?
He has something going on that's causing him to develop nerve damage in his legs. That eventually is going to give him numbness, tingling, and balance problems in the future.
And do you attribute that to anything?
But considering he's 5'11" and 300 pounds, I would, if I'm a betting man, he's at least pre-diabetic.
Okay. But that has nothing to do with any of the other physical examinations that you conducted.
Correct.
Did you do anything else?
I ordered MRI with DTI, NeuroQuant, and I did a CT PET.
Okay, let's talk about that.
Okay.
What's a CT PET? What is that?
A PET scan is a nuclear study. Basically, what happens is a radio-labeled sugar is administered. Well, your brain, sugar, it's glucose. Glucose is a type of sugar. It's the main sugar your brain uses. Matter of fact, it's the primary food your brain needs. Only other thing that uses glucose, either use glucose or ketones in starvation, but glucose is what it uses.
Okay, so the person is injected with some kind of sugar.
It's radioactive glucose, basically. That's a simple way of saying it. Radio labeled means radioactive. Medical grade. Anyhow, this is injected in the body, and they track it as it goes into the brain. They do a CT first, so they have something to map it on. That's why I call it CT PET. Otherwise, it'd just be a blob in space. So they map it onto a CT, and the parts of the brain that uses glucose would be the cortex. The cortex is where the neuron cell bodies exist. Neurons cell bodies give rise to axons. Axons don't use any sugar.
What's the purpose of an axon?
Axon is as important as part of this neuron. Axon is the part that traverses to other
Connect
they connect synapses at the end of this axon. It's part
and
of the
communicate with other parts of the brain.
yeah, it's the wire.
The wires. Okay. All right. And then, did you explain that one? The CT PET. So is that?
Well, I'm still
Sorry. Go ahead.
So the cortex should light up, and all the cortex should be relatively the same intensity of sugar used because it's all doing the same thing, all being used.
Okay. And then the MRI, DTI?
We did an MRI
Mhm.
and DTI. I never did get a NeuroQuant. That wasn't provided.
So tell us what an MRI DTI is.
MRI is going to be a little different. It tells us about structure. Structure would be if you had a brain tumor, I would be able to see it. If you had a stroke, I would be able to see it. DTI is a little bit different, where it stands for diffusion tensor imaging. And this uses MRI technology to try to tease out water flow. And water flow is basically how axons show up on MRI. And there's a hole in the axons. It'll show us a hole in the DTI.
Okay, so you ordered those two different scans for radiography.
Those are those are
Those scans.
two different scans.
Okay, and
MRI and CT PET.
did you make a PowerPoint in order to go through these scans to explain your findings?
I did.
Okay, and is that the first page of your PowerPoint?
That'd be the first one. It'll be on my name and what it is.
All right, so this is the first image. And maybe,
I had some controls here, but they're gone now.
you got here. I can approach Judge. So will this assist you in helping explain what's going on in some of these images?
Yes. So
No objection to its use, Judge.
Okay,
this part, this first image is a slice right about through here. To the very top of it.
Go to the next one.
Well, I need, can I have my pointer back?
Your pointer?
There's supposed to be a pointer here. It was on here, but it's gone.
Oh,
That was your mouse.
that was my mouse.
There it is.
Okay, but what does that
well,
mean?
if you need to stand up to point something out to the jury, you can do so, okay? 'Cause
Oh. All right.
Thank you, Judge.
All right. This is very important, this scan right here. This red,
Judge, can we have a question posed to the witness?
Yes, what's next question?
What does that red dot on the left side of the screen indicate to you?
that indicates that that's what the brain is supposed to look like.
Okay,
The red is going to be where you get more higher glucose utilization.
okay. Is there a lot of glucose or metabolism by the brain on this image?
Right there.
Okay, what about the rest of the image?
This front is diminished, and more so the back part.
So are you saying that this red should be throughout?
This red should be,
Objection to leading, Your Honor.
this red should be
Sustained.
all the way around here. The blue is the myelinated fibers, that's white matter, so it's not gonna be sugar. But
So-
Judge, I'm gonna object, unresponsive narrative.
What is the blue, the color, the blue colors indicate?
it's the myelinated fibers or the axons. It
Okay,
doesn't use sugar, so it's blue.
okay. So that's normal. The blue is normal.
Objection to leading, Your Honor.
Okay, overruled, go ahead.
Is there something on the very tip there that you noticed?
That thing is a calcification along the falx. I don't think it's pertinent to anything. But theoretically, on one of the images I looked at, that you will look at later, there's some red next to it. This tells me that it could be a focal seizure.
Okay,
Judge, I'm
Can
gonna
you-
object and ask to approach.
Okay, okay, Doctor, the state just informed me that your testimony that you just gave about a potential is it focal, F-O-C-A-L?
Focal seizure.
Okay, it's brand new.
Well, when I was looking at images last night, I said, what's this red for?
Yeah, well, you can't do that,
Okay.
okay?
I take it back.
Yeah, okay, we can't really take it back, but don't do that again. So this was rather last minute, and the state had to depose you Monday, and so you can't discuss any opinions that were not disclosed to the state,
Okay.
okay? Okay, very good. All right,
It's
that's
water.
Yeah, well,
Judge, can we ask for a curative instruction first to have it stricken and also to ask the jury to disregard?
the opinion about the potential of a focal seizure.
Yes, just to disregard the last answer he gave, the last response.
Okay, very good. And then we will get you some water as soon as Deputy Martinez comes back. He knows where the water is.
We have some right here at council's table.
Okay, sure.
Oh, he's got it.
Oh. Okay, and then you can do the jury.
There's two in the restroom, Judge.
Okay.
Good time on your part.
Yes, sir.
You can sit down while we're waiting. That's fine. You're fine.
Judge, the jurors asked if the doctor can speak a little louder. They can't hear him in the back.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. And so I know when you're standing up, it is difficult because you don't have the microphone there, but just please try and project as much as you can.
Okay.
Okay? All right, thank you.
Jurors are out, Judge.
Okay, very good. Welcome back, everybody. Okay, and with regards to the last answer from this witness, it's been stricken and you all are to disregard it. Okay, very good. You may proceed.
All right, let's go to the next slide,
Oh, no,
okay?
we're still gonna talk about this. I still
Oh,
have-
yes, go ahead. Just speak up so that we can,
All right.
I'll hear you.
So what this looks like is a concept known as coup contra coup. It's a term in neuropathology where you have the site of impact. When the head gets hit, the brain suffers the area where it got hit, but as the brain shifts backwards, the back part, the opposite side of the brain hits the skull, and that causes more brain damage. So coup contra coup. So we have this impairment up here, and then this vast greenness back down here, where the contra coup would be. Next
Okay.
slide.
And you, okay, we'll talk about it on a different slide. Oops. What about this slide?
Basically the same thing.
The same thing, which is not a lot of red.
Where you have the green back here, not a lot of, it's a little almost red in here. That's relatively protected in head injury. With the front part, the back part are all diminished sugar capacity.
And these are slices.
These are all slices of the brain as if we're going through it this way. Axials.
And then what about this slide? And just for the record, these are the CT, the PET scans?
This is the PET scan.
Okay.
This is the most remarkable of the images I had.
Okay, gotta speak up.
This is the most remarkable. Anyhow, this just shows that there's no point of where there's very little red here, just right here and right here. The rest of the whole brain is diminished, which supports intellectual disability.
So are we getting deeper and deeper? Each
Getting deeper into the
each
brain,
slice
yes.
is deeper into the brain.
Yes.
And what is the blue? What is that? Is that a normal amount and where it's at?
The blue is all within the center of the two halves. And that blue represents white matter, which is myelinated fibers, which is where the axons are, and don't use much sugar, if any.
Okay. So then what are we seeing in these last three images? We're seeing brain damage.
Judge, I'm gonna object to leading.
Sustain is to leading.
What do you see, doctor?
What I see is a diminished use of glucose, which may be from traumatic brain injury, but maybe something else as well. There may be more here that I don't know what happened because this is so profound.
When you say the brain damage is so profound, can you expand on that?
This is going to be from brain injury, the front and the back. That's where most of this brain injury occurred. But all this, it just seems that there could be something more than this brain injury, traumatic brain injury.
And can you just, the different lobes of the brain, and you know you have that brain that you have in your hand, can you tell us, kind of explain the different lobes of the brain and what they are responsible for?
If I can help the witness sit down if he's not.
Yeah, I can sit down. Can you sit down for us?
All right, so this model, this is the frontal lobe. This is the part of the brain that makes us, because this is where most behavior arises from. Those are planning, our decision to do right and wrong, our language, our ability to speak. It's all in the frontal lobe. Temporal lobe is going to be memory and emotion.
Can you show on the other side? I don't know if the jury can see you.
Right in here, that's temporal lobe.
Okay.
Parietal lobe is going to be spatial orientation, arithmetic, a lot of things that we don't really point out in court.
Okay.
The
Fair enough.
occipital lobe is going to be visual association cortex and vision. This is where you see and place meaning on what you see.
Okay. And so far in these images, are you able to determine whether there has been damage to any of those lobes of the brain?
Yes, all of them.
All of them. All of the lobes that you just described.
All the lobes I just discussed have impairment to them.
Okay, what about this image? I think it's the fourth one.
Same thing. It just shows this diminished glucose uptake globally in his brain.
Your Honor, if I could, can I just consult with opposing counsel real quick?
Yes?
We're on, well, that's 5. I called. Is this the slide we were just talking about? I believe it is. I said it was slide 4. It's actually slide 5 of 18. Maybe?
I think so. I think this is it.
Okay. And you said that this image indicated to you that all these slides, including this one, the slide 5, global brain damage.
Right. Parts of his frontal lobe, the lateral portions of his frontal lobe appear to be okay or work better than other parts of his frontal lobe. Whereas the rest of, but that's the only parts that work reasonably well.
Where, can you show us where that is on the brain?
Where it works well? Where it works well?
Yes.
Go back a couple slides.
Oh. That's slide 3.
Well, this is where lateral frontal lobes is where it's working relatively better than the rest of his brain. PET scans be all relative.
So is that because of the red? There's
There's a little bit of red. There's a little red mixed in there, and it's not solid. And that could be from maybe they didn't dose enough. But this is all relative. Green should never be in any part of the cortex.
Okay, you can have a seat. When you said maybe they didn't dose enough, but then you said, but you realize that that's not the issue. Can you explain what you mean by that and why you came up to that opinion or conclusion?
PET scan is all relative, meaning that the cortex should be of relative similar values because it's all cell bodies of neurons that use sugar and they all use it relatively equally.
Okay, so there wouldn't be, so it would be underdosed.
It would be, if it's underdosed, it would all still look the same. It would just be all yellow
Right.
or all green.
Okay.
The fact that there's some red in there means that no, that's not the case. His brain simply didn't process the sugar.
It would have been uniform throughout the image.
Yes, uniform along the cortex.
Okay.
You still would have blue.
Okay, and where's the cortex at?
Everything is not blue.
Is that what we think of as the brain?
Cortex is going to be the surface of your brain. It's what we call gray matter versus white matter.
What's the difference?
Gray matter, well, on pathology, it's gray. On pathology, white matter has got myelin in it, so it's white. Cortex involves cell bodies of the neurons. White matter contains white myelinated axons.
So I think we were on, I'm going to go to slide 6.
Yes.
2 different images there. What are we looking at?
I'm just pointing out that this loss of metabolism is pervasive throughout the brain.
This loss of what? I didn't hear you.
Metabolism.
Metabolism.
Loss of metabolism is throughout the brain. It's not just frontal lobe and back. It's just,
Can you pull that microphone just a little closer to
that
you?
whole brain is impaired.
All right, and this is slide 7. What do we see here?
What we're looking at here is a coronal image. Kind of chopping through this way. And what I'm looking at here the center part here is the anterior cingulate gyrus.
What is that?
The anterior cingulate gyrus is part of your cingulate, is part of your limbic system. The limbic system is your emotional system, but it's uniquely positioned in the frontal lobe because it's to do with behavior arising out of emotion. People with impaired anterior cingulates tend to act on their emotions because they have no stop sign in their brain.
I missed that last part. You said because they act on their emotions because of.
They act on their mission because they have no stop sign in their brain. There's nothing to tell them, don't do that.
Anything else on these 2 slides?
other than just a little bit of red here and everything else
Let's
reduced.
go to, I'm gonna go to slide 8. What are we looking at here?
Just more of the same of the cingulate gyrus still being here. And the rest of it is,
So essentially, it's
Great.
not firing or connecting.
Objection, deleting.
It's not-
Sustain is deleting, ask your question again.
What does that mean?
it means it's not metabolizing sugar, which means there's not a whole lot of axon or not a whole lot of cell bodies using sugar, which means it's not working very well.
And what about that top right image? Oh, is that the next slide? That's the next
Yes, this
slide.
slide.
Slide 9.
All right. Now, we talked a lot about frontal lobe before. That was all frontal lobe we're talking about. Now we're talking about temporal lobe.
What's that? Where on the brain is that?
Temporal lobe is this part right here. This is temporal lobe, part of this. That's temporal lobe.
And you have I'm sorry, do you have one of those on each side of our brains?
Yes,
Okay.
we have two temporal lobes. And this shows those temporal lobes are basically green,
So what does that mean?
that they're not that they're not metabolizing much sugar.
And because they're not metabolizing much sugar, what does that mean?
That they're not functioning very well.
Okay. What if anything, does that cause when those two lobes are not functioning well?
If your anterior temporal lobes do not function well, it usually means that you don't process emotion very well. And when you combine that, you cannot process emotion very well with that anterior cingulate I was talking about, how you can't have a stop sign for bad emotion. It usually leads to people doing things out of emotion that is not usually good.
All right, slide 10. What is that? Same thing? Just deeper into the brain?
Slide 10 shows me that right there is almost blue, and it's supposed to be cortex.
It's supposed to be brain,
It's
or,
supposed to be cortex, not
okay,
axons, it's cortex.
which means what?
That it is barely eating any sugar, and it's barely working at all.
And if that part is not working at all, what does that equate to?
Emotional regulation.
All right, slide 11, it looks like we have a PET scan and then an MRI to the right.
No, it's a CAT scan.
CAT scan? Okay. Sorry.
Over here, the blue extends out to here. And the reason I included the CAT scan is you can see that there's brain over here. There's cortex over there.
So what does that mean?
It just doesn't work.
So those two slides correlate to one another.
Objection, deleting.
Sustain is deleting.
How do those why do you put those two images on this?
Because it's the same
One page.
section showing you that there's brain there, it just doesn't work. And this is a chronal view of the same
Slide
thing.
12, sorry, go ahead.
This is a chronal view, meaning the slice this way, but through the temporal lobes, showing that blue right there,
Right where?
right where I'm pointing,
I know, but what is it called?
temporal lobe. It's-
Okay.
It's the same image I was showing before, just a different view of it, to show that this is not just a optic delusional. This is real. This is a abysmal function in that temporal lobe.
right, slide 13, what are we looking at?
All right, now this is MRI DTI.
And what, if anything, do we see on this slide?
Well, let me try to explain
Sure.
what this is.
This is 13.
This is a representation of diffuser tensor imaging. What the sequence on the left indicates is intact water flow. When there's a gyrus or a sulcus, when the brain has involutions,
Can you show us on the,
I don't know if anyone can see this,
okay,
but the brain has a bunch of divots in it, and et cetera. Those divots are called sulcuses, and the areas that are raised are called gyruses.
the area of the what?
The areas that are raised are called gyruses.
I still didn't get you.
The areas that are raised are called gyruses,
Oh, gotcha, okay,
and the areas that are lower are called sulcuses
okay,
or sulci.
okay.
It's actually gyri is the correct way of saying it. All right. Anyhow, let me project right.
Want me to go to the next slide?
Well, I'll try to make it work, but it's hard to see. For me, it's better on your screen so what I can see. But like this little hole, there's like these holes all over the place. Most of them are supposed to be there because the brain has natural crevices. There's not going to be any axonal flow over areas of space. So it's going to create a hole illusion. But right here, that one right there, there's nothing. There's no sulci, there's no division. That's in the middle of the brain, middle of the frontal lobe. That's the left frontal lobe that has axonal damage to it.
You said it's called a hole, are you saying that there's a hole in the brain, or you're saying
There's a disruption of axonal flow
which produces a hole
on the image, yes.
on the image? Okay. In the frontal lobe,
This is the left frontal lobe,
I'm sorry, left?
left frontal lobe, yes.
And why is that significant?
Well, part of it is one of his frontal lobes is showing it abnormal on the DTI. But you have two frontal lobes, so typically you need both frontal lobes to be impaired to be really impaired.
All right, slide 14. What are we looking at here?
Same thing right here. But maybe a continuation of the one that we just saw.
So we shouldn't be seeing a dark image on that area of that slide where you pointed, the upper right.
No, we should not be. Possibly one of these down here might be also included, but we're not really focusing on that.
And why is that?
We're not focusing on it because it has nothing to do with behavior.
Okay, that deals with something else.
Yes, some other cognition that he's deficient in.
Okay, slide 15. What is this? Just different sections. Just, I guess we're getting closer to the top of the brain.
Yeah, let me see. Because here, this one is here. But also on the flare sequence, there's this white patch right below the cortex in the white matter, which represents scar tissue in the brain.
How does one get scar tissue in the brain?
Traumatic brain injury.
Okay, Can you point to that again for us, please?
It's right there, but this screen is not showing it very well. You need to look at your own screens where I'm pointing.
We have 15.
Yes. All right, now we're at slide 16. What is this?
This is the right frontal lobe. So both frontal lobes have some axonal damage to them.
Anything else?
Okay, move on.
All right, slide 17.
Now we're revisiting the PET scan again in that temporal lobe where it was so diminished. Here we have a hole right over here. Here we have, there was brain there. And there, for the next slide, there's no function there. Same spot, two different studies, that temporal lobe is damaged.
Okay, so I'm gonna go back to slide 17. Can you point one more time? That same area we're looking at?
Right there. Right in the right temporal lobe, which is on the left side of the image, because left and right differences in radiology. We have that same area.
And that's 19, Council? Oh, 18.
And you point to that area because it's mostly blue or green? Or
It has both
what?
blue and green in it, but it's supposed to be at least a yellow or an orange.
All right, so based upon, you can sit down, based upon your evaluation of these images, and do you look at images? Are you qualified to look at and review images? Isn't that something that you do as a neurologist?
Yes, I look at a lot. I look at a lot of brains.
And based upon your review of the PET,
CT PET.
CT PET, and the MRI, DTI scans, do you have an opinion to a reasonable degree of medical certainty?
Yes,
What is it?
that Davion Murphy suffers from traumatic brain injury with damage particularly to his frontal lobe, occipital lobe, and temporal lobes, which can affect his behavior.
And there's no way of determining when this injury occurred, or when these injuries, it looks like, it sounds like to me that there's multiple impacts of some sort.
Objection, Levy.
Sustained. Rephrase.
Is there any way to put a time frame on this brain damage?
No, there's only, all it tells us what it is now, or actually last week, because the scans are not that old.
Is this something, well, no, you saw the scar tissue. How long does it take for scar tissue to develop in the brain?
The scar tissue takes a lot more time. If it was acute, if it was like in the last couple of weeks, it would show up more as a signal on DWI, which is a stroke indicator. When there's acute damage, it shows up on DWI. The DWI is normal. Matter of fact, the rest of the brain appeared normal except for the white matter lesion I showed and the DTI.
And how, if any, could you treat a patient that has similar damage?
How do you treat?
Yeah.
Typically by,
I mean, is there a treatment, I guess? I don't know.
I mean, usually, sometimes you use low dose treatments for attention deficit disorder, but he already has attention deficit disorder and doesn't do well on stimulants. I think the best option for him is a structured environment.
I'll pass the witness.
Okay, Ross?
No.
Yes, please. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Doctor, we just spoke a couple of days ago. Your deposition was taken on Monday.
Yes,
Okay. And you found out, I believe you said Friday or Saturday, that you would be testifying in this case?
I found on Friday or Saturday, whenever I got the scans and I reviewed them, if they were negative, I wasn't going to be testifying because I had nothing to say. But unfortunately, I had to cancel some of my day in my office to be here. I was hoping not to find anything. I was hoping to be a normal scan, but it wasn't. And I
Okay,
had,
so is that a yes or a no?
no, yeah,
Okay. When I took your deposition on Monday,
yes,
you had told me you had just found out. When I asked you that, you said I found out Friday or Saturday that I would be testifying.
I found out when I got the scans. Yes,
Okay. And the scans were just taken last week, correct?
yes,
All right. Now, you were a practicing radiologist. You have a clinical practice, correct?
no, I'm a practicing neurologist.
I'm sorry, neurologist. In fact, you're not a radiologist, correct?
I'm not a radiologist, correct?
Right. And radiologists will frequently examine MRI scans like these. Well, these are PET scans, but some of those were MRI DTI scans. They will utilize those as a diagnostic, correct?
Yes,
In your clinical practice as a neurologist, you see patients, and I think you talked about some of the types of patients you see.
yes,
You see MS patients, correct?
yes,
People for pain management,
yes,
people that have, I'm trying to remember the first term, neuropathy.
polyneuropathy.
I'm sorry, poly, did you say poly?
Yeah, polyneuropathy.
I was thinking more like neuropathy in the hands or the feet or the lower legs. That's something that is common in people that have diabetes.
Yes, carpal tunnel syndrome.
Carpal tunnel
neuropathy.
can cause it in the hands.
Yes,
You also see people with seizure
Yes.
issues, epileptic
yes,
patients. And these are people, if I understand right, in a clinical setting, they come to your office because they're having an issue, they're having a problem, correct?
correct.
And they present to you, you do your examination, whatever it is. I'm assuming on a lot of these patients, you're going to be doing a neurology examination similar to what you did with Mr. Murphy, correct?
Yes,
And then you're going to assess their symptoms and you're going to treat them, correct?
yes.
But this isn't one of those situations, correct?
No, this is simply, he's not my patient, he's a client.
Yes, and that is my next question. Davion Murphy's not your patient, he's your client, correct?
Correct,
His attorneys have retained you to give forensic consultation, correct?
correct.
All right. And that's a practice that you've maintained now for what, 15, 20 years?
15 years.
15 years, okay. And in your forensic or medical legal consultation, you have consulted on civil cases too, correct? Not just criminal.
Yes,
And in civil cases, I believe you told me Monday that the majority of the cases that you've consulted on over the years was personal injury, like motor vehicle accidents.
prior to a couple of years ago, I saw a lot of people who are in car accidents,
Car accidents, okay.
back injury, neck injuries. But I did a lot of concussion because I kind of focused on concussion.
And that the civil practice has been kind of modified based on changes in the law, you were telling me in your deposition.
Yes, now if you get into a car accident, you better have health insurance because PIP, it gets exhausted very quickly and attorneys just can't take you on if you have no insurance.
Right.
And then you can't get healthcare.
As a consulting physician, you're going to have problems getting paid for your services if you work those cases, correct?
Right. I run the risk of not being paid at all.
Right, because there's no longer letters of protection, I think you told me.
Correct.
But you have consulted in criminal matters and you have consulted in capital murder cases like this, correct?
That's correct.
And you have come in front of juries like you're doing today where the defendant or client that you're testifying on behalf of has been found guilty and convicted of first-degree murder, and you've come in to present mitigation, correct?
Yes.
And in this instance, when you met with the defendant, you made it clear to him the purpose for why you were meeting with him, right?
Yes.
And to make sure he understood why you were there, correct?
I don't think he thought I was going to treat him, but yes.
Yeah, you weren't there to treat him. You
Right.
were there to examine him to develop potential mental health or other mitigation, correct?
Correct.
Okay. I want to talk to you real quick about the examination. You said that you detected a nystagmus or a jerking in the eyes, correct?
Correct.
Now, did you have access to his jail medical records at that time?
I don't have any of his jail records.
Okay. You don't have any of those.
Correct.
All right. So you don't know what type of medications he may be currently being prescribed or was prescribed or taking on that day. Is that right?
He told me what he was taking. He thinks he was on Remeron and Buspar,
And what are those?
psychiatric drugs.
Okay. Can you spell those for me?
Remeron. Remeron.
R-E-M what?
Remeron.
Okay. And
And Buspar. Buspar.
Buspar. Okay. Now, are you aware of either of those medications being utilized to treat anxiety or depression? Are you familiar with them?
Buspirone or Buspar is used to treat anxiety.
Okay. There are some medications that can cause nystagmus, correct?
Yes.
And that would include a class of drugs known as tranquilizers.
Tranquilizers is a broad category of medication, not a class of medication.
Right.
Does it mention which class?
I'm sorry?
Does it
Wait,
mention
hold
what
on,
class?
Wait, stop. What's the objection?
He's getting into the psychiatry piece, not necessarily.
Well, if he knows, he can answer, because we're talking, I think he's getting into the HGN or the possible reasons why. So go ahead.
Are you aware of the fact that certain medications such as barbiturates or tranquilizers, whatever type of drugs may fall into that, may cause jerkiness in the eyes or nystagmus?
Well, barbiturates clearly can.
I'm sorry, what you called it nystagmus, correct?
Nystagmus. I didn't call it nystagmus. I call it jerking the eyes, but
Jerking the eyes.
same difference.
Okay.
Abnormal eye movements.
All right.
Alcohol can cause them.
Oh, obviously it's
That's
used
what we
in
do.
DUI
So
to
certain
test.
sedatives can.
Sorry.
One at a time.
Yeah, we need to try to not talk
Okay.
over each other. Go ahead. You were saying.
Certain sedatives can do it. Buspirone's not a sedative.
Okay. What about the other one?
Remeron has some sedating qualities, but is an antidepressant. I don't think I would call it a tranquilizer, call it an antidepressant.
So, but it does have a sedative quality, you said?
Yes, but it's not going to be a barbiturate or alcohol or one of those things that can cause nystagmus.
But it also includes tranquilizers, correct? Sedatives.
Certain classes of sedatives. It's not going to be everything because it has to have some effect on. Because I know benzos are sedatives and it doesn't cause it.
Benzodiazepine?
Yeah, like diazepam, lorazepam,
Right.
those don't cause nystagmus.
But you had given multiple reasons for that, including, I think you said MS can potentially cause it. Strokes can cause it.
Nystagmus?
Yes. Or did you not
Yes,
say
those.
that?
Anything that causes interruption in the midbrain can cause nystagmus. So MS, stroke, central pontine myelinolysis.
But certain medications can also cause it, correct?
Yes, like like barbiturates, alcohol.
When you were retained in this case and the work that you have done, are you being reimbursed for that?
Yes,
Okay. And can you tell the jurors at what rate per hour you're being reimbursed?
I get reimbursed for $400 an hour.
Okay. And is
Which
that,
is-
yeah, go ahead.
That's roughly how much I bill out when I'm in my office, where I'm not right now.
So $400 an hour for working on the case,
Yes.
$400 an hour when you traveled up here to see the defendant, and
No, when I drive, I only charge $200 an hour because sometimes I'm not going to be doing it during working hours.
okay, so you're charging $200 an hour for your travel time,
Yes,
and then once you arrived here at the Hillsborough County Jail and you met with the defendant and conducted your evaluation of him, you're charging $400 an hour again.
while I'm in the jail, yes.
Yes, and then you're charging $400 an hour today for your testimony.
Yes,
Have you submitted invoices yet?
not yet.
Do you have an accumulated number of hours that you've worked on this case?
Well, when I met with you in my deposition, I was about 4,000, but since then I'm probably closer to 6,000 now.
Okay. And, okay, so you think you're up to about $6,000 of charged work?
I think so, yes.
Now, you work, as we were talking about earlier, you have consulted on other capital cases, correct?
Yes,
To present testimony in a penalty phase such as this, right?
correct.
And you've come in and testified in these settings before, is that right?
That's right.
How many times do you think you may have done that over the last 15 years of your consulting business?
Death penalty cases mitigation,
Yes.
around 50 times roughly.
And all those times, have you been retained by the state or the prosecution?
I've been retained by defense.
And in civil cases, you've testified for both plaintiffs and defendants?
Yes,
Now, in this case, you have read Dr. Eisenstein's report, is that correct?
that's correct.
You were provided numerous records, correct? In this case, in a big, large digital download?
Yes,
I believe in your depot, you described it as a dump,
yes.
a
That
dump
would be
of
correct.
records.
A dump of records.
But you have not been provided with Tampa Police Department police records, correct?
No, just the record of filing the charges.
So you've not received any police reports, and I believe in your deposition, you told me you were looking for it, but you haven't found anything like that.
Correct.
So that would include not receiving any audio, video interviews of Mr. Davion Murphy, is that correct?
That is correct.
Now, using PET scans like this, CT PET scans, you've used that, but when you have, you've used it in a clinical setting for Alzheimer's patients, correct?
Use it mostly to differentiate between Alzheimer's disease and frontal temporal dementia.
And dementia, okay. And those are two different things, right?
Yes,
And in this case, you did not prepare a report, is that correct?
I did not prepare a report.
DTI MRIs, like the few MRI scans that we saw.
Yes,
And correct me, is it scan or is it image? What is the right term?
the individual picture is an image. The whole thing's a scan.
It's a scan, okay. And both of these technologies, PET and MRI, are taking images that are basically slices of the brain in different planes.
Correct.
DTI MRI that we saw and you talked about earlier, I believe you indicated to me that you do not use that in your practice anymore because you don't do as much personal injury. Is that correct?
Correct. Insurance does not cover it.
You have one moment, Your Honor.
Yes.
I have no other questions. Thank you, sir.
Okay, redirect.
You weren't just retained last week, right?
Well, no, I was retained in first week of March.
All right. And would you work on behalf of the state if they asked you?
Objection.
Oh, what's the legal basis?
Relevance.
Overruled. Go ahead. You can answer.
I never worked for the state because they never asked me.
And if you were provided police reports, interviews, videos, would that change your opinion today?
No, it would allow me to see what he did and explain his behavior based on what I see. But since I don't know what he did, all I can explain is predicted behavior and his limitations.
Fair enough. Thank you.
Okay.
I just need to. I'm going to introduce the thumb drive into evidence, Judge.
Okay.
And those are all the questions I have.
And
Right.
excused.
Hold on 1 second. And that, what exhibit will that be?
That's going to be, is it 4? Sorry, 3.
Okay, as to defendant Davion Murphy. Okay, very good. Any objection?
No, Your Honor. No
Okay.
objection.
May this witness be excused?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. You're free to go. Ms. Toomey, come up here real quick. And Mr. Harmon. Okay, very good. And what is the name of your next witness? Ms. Toomey?
Winston Murphy?
Okay, and so, and you also have direct, so how that's gonna work is, Ms. Toomey will do her direct of the witness, then you will do your direct of the witness, Mr. Hernandez, then the state will cross. And then you guys will do your redirect.
Yes, Your Honor, I do have one matter that I want to address the court on.
Yep,
Oh, and also, if you would read the
I
stipulation.
will, I will.
Okay. I have been advised, I have lost a witness, but gained a witness that
I
has
see
not
you've
been.
got 2 more witnesses via Zoom, Hazel Dickerson and Jamila Murphy.
Yes, Your Honor. Jamila Murphy has been previously listed as a witness.
Okay,
We had also a Shaheem Murphy that was listed, but apparently we've lost her.
Okay,
On the other hand, my mitigation specialist had advised me that an aunt now who has not wanted to testify now wants to testify, and she's on Zoom. Her name is Hazel Dickerson. Will be testifying about the same things. Nothing new. Just simply an aunt's perspective on what she knows about Mr. Rashad Murphy. I'm asking that we be allowed to call her, but I acknowledge the fact that we were not able to get her on board before, and she was not deposed.
okay. Well, the state obviously needs to talk to her before you call her, so.
Judge, if I could inquire, I do know that we did take the depo of Shaheem, and I think Jamila was listed, but I thought that she did not show up. Is that correct? And that you took her off at one point? I don't know if we talked to her either.
I don't have a recollection at this point. I know I had listed her, but I never took her off the list. But again, it's
So
irrelevant.
here's the deal. You guys have to sort all that out. And so at the end of the day, I'm going to let the state talk to both of them via Zoom. And then if there's a problem, you let me know. Otherwise, you're going to have to tomorrow morning appear via Zoom. Okay? Okay. All right. So if anyone needs to use the restroom, it's probably a good time. So, okay?
What's the name of the other person?
final jury instructions, and this is the first verdict form I did, so start reviewing that for Mr. Chance. And I'll do the others. And as soon as Mr. Chance returns, we will get going. And what? No one is asking, that I not, so, until someone says something. Defendants are not back in court. Defense counsel's present, state's present, witnesses on the stand, and we can bring in our jury.
Yes, sir. All rise. All jurors are in judges.
Okay, very good. Everyone have a seat. All right, and Ms. Toomey, call your next witness. And I believe this witness is also being called by Rashad Murphy, okay? So both Mr. Hernandez and Ms. Toomey will question this witness, and then the state will do the cross at that time. Okay, you may proceed. Oh, and Ms. Murphy, please stand up and raise your right hand.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give in this class will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, very good. You may proceed.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I think that's, keep yours on. That was my fault. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Can you please state your full legal name?
Winston Leo Murphy, ma'am.
And you're currently incarcerated
Yes, I am.
for what?
Principal to second degree murder.
All right. And are you familiar with someone by the name of Davion Murphy?
Yes, I am, ma'am.
Who is he to you?
That's my oldest brother's son, which is my nephew.
Okay, so you're his uncle.
Yes.
Did you grow up with Davion's father?
Yes.
What's his father's name?
David Murphy.
And where is he currently?
He's currently incarcerated.
For what?
Principal to second degree murder.
And what was his sentence?
I think life plus 30.
And do you recall the year that he was sentenced, if you know?
I think around about 2014.
And what about yourself? What sentence did you receive?
50 years or 20 of them mandatory, ma'am.
And when did your case resolve?
2012.
Okay. And were you and Davion's father involved in the same event?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And how old were you when that happened?
26.
And how old was Davion's father when this happened?
I'm gonna say about 29.
All right. Do you have other brothers or sisters?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
How many and what are their names?
Jamila Murphy is my sister, and Farrar Murphy is my middle brother, and Rashad Murphy, which is my nephew, Rashad, oldest brother. He's, I think at the time, he's like 49. My sister's like 40, 47, and my other middle brother, Farrar Murphy, like, I think like 44, like 46.
So how many in total siblings do you have?
I have 4 in all.
All right. I want to talk to you a little bit about David Murphy Sr., your older brother. Was he, to your knowledge, diagnosed with schizophrenia?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you tell us or give us some examples of the things that you would deal with on a daily or weekly basis as a result of him being diagnosed with schizophrenia?
He was in and out of mental hospitals mostly all my life.
Is there any event that you could share with us to let us know how it would be with dealing with someone with schizophrenia and living with someone with schizophrenia?
It's, if you don't understand them, they go through like spares of thinking people out to get them, paranoia, mind state sort of skill, sort of in that nature.
I didn't hear that, like you said, mind state.
Yeah, they're not really stable minded.
Okay.
They one person today and their character is the next tomorrow.
Do you know if this diagnosis is something that kind of runs on the paternal side of the family?
It possibly can, but I can't really say.
Objection, Your Honor, speculation.
Yes, his name.
Do you know of any other family members on the paternal side that suffer from that diagnosis?
My children, I have 3 children that diagnosed with mental problems, but at this moment, I can't recall which one, but I have 3 children that are.
And how old are they? How old are kids?
My oldest is 18 and 16, and I think 15, no, it's 21, which is my oldest son, and my daughter 18, and my son 17. All 3 of them suffer with mental abilities.
And who takes care of them?
My fiance.
Do you recall a time, well, let me strike that. Let me ask you this. Davion's father, was he also an alcoholic?
He drunk at times, you could say. I wouldn't say alcoholic, but he did drink alcohol.
Did he drink to excess
Yes.
often?
Yes.
Okay. How did that affect how he acted when he would consume alcohol?
It would affect him.
Did you have the opportunity to observe your brother, David, taking care of or spending time with Davion and his younger brother?
At times, yes.
Can you tell us about that?
Davion and David, the father, is not together, so David have his own place. But he took him to events, I would like a father would. I can't say out of my presence what happened, but he took him to events, he spent time with him.
When he would, meaning Davion, would visit with his father, did you have any concerns about where he was residing or would bring his nephews?
I mean, Serena, which is Davion's mother, is a wonderful woman, a wonderful mother to him.
Is there a time where she kicked
I
Davion?
mean,
Go ahead.
excuse me.
Go ahead.
Me, my brother, I'll be concerned. It all depends on, like you say, what environment he got him in, but with his state of mind, yeah, I would be concerned. But with Serena's a great mother.
Okay, I want to focus kind of on Davion's father. Was there a time where Davion and his brother were not getting along with his mother's paramour or husband or what have you, and she kicked him out of the house? Do you remember that?
Can you rephrase that?
Do you remember when Davion's mother kicked him out of the house and he went to go live with his father in a storage unit? You remember that?
I'm not familiar with that.
Okay. Do you remember any times where his mother kicked him out of the house?
No, ma'am, not that I can recall.
No? Okay. Did you have concerns about where the father would bring his nephews in the parts of the community that he would bring his nephews for their safety and things like that?
Yes. I mean, I would say, yeah.
Why is that?
State of mind to be in.
His state of mind?
Yeah.
What do you mean by that?
What you questioned on earlier, his mental abilities.
What about the places that he was staying? Like, were they in Section 8 violent communities?
I mean,
As to leading, Your Honor.
Well, just overall, go ahead and answer.
Serena raised him in a home, but his father lived in apartments. So it's a big difference from raising children.
Okay, I want to focus on the apartments. Tell us about the kind of apartments, why you were so concerned about your nephew, Davion. I know this is hard for you. I do appreciate that, and I understand that.
Apartments is real not private. A home is private. So my brother stayed in mine in some certain areas and certain apartments. I would be concerned about my nephew. I say that because of the environment. Apartment is private. It's not private. Houses are private. Well, my brother stayed in mine, with him, it would be a concern.
And was it part of your concern because of the violence where he was staying?
Possibly could have been.
What about Adam Gooden Jr.? Who is he to you?
That is Serena's son, which would be my step nephew.
Did you have any involvement in his life?
He was at my mom's house every time Davion got dropped off. So he was pretty much like a nephew. He is my nephew.
So
Even though he's not my biological, but he's my nephew.
So when Serena, which is Davion's mother, would drop Davion and Adam off to be cared for by your mother, is that a yes?
Yes.
And your mother's name is what?
Phyllis Murphy, God bless her dad.
And what was the reason that they were being dropped off to be cared for by your mother?
I just, what the family do, family, unity, stay together, like family events, every weekend, faithfully.
Where did you grow up? Where were you
East side of Jacksonville, Iona Street, 1623 Iona Street, east side of Jacksonville.
And what about Davion Murphy?
She, over the years, I would say like the west side, the west, the north, the south. Over the years,
And would his father bring him to the east side?
it mostly be his mother.
His mother would bring him to the east
Yes,
side?
Serena. He lived with Serena.
Okay. I can approach the witness, Judge.
Yes.
I'm showing you what's been marked as defense exhibit 1A through K. If you could just flip through those photographs and tell me if you recognize them.
Davion and David. Be Davion. Like be Davion and David and Adam.
You recognize those? Judge, at this point in time, I need to evidence what's marked as states defense exhibit 1.
No objection, Your Honor.
I just want to show you a couple.
Composite exhibit.
Yes, A through K,
Right.
and I can publish?
Yep.
I'm showing you 1A. Do you recognize that photo? Is that Davion when he was a baby?
Yes.
And this is 1B. Do you recognize that photograph?
Yes.
Is that Davion as well?
Yes.
And what about 1C?
Like that's Davion and Adam. Davion and David. Like Adam.
Adam is his younger brother.
Yes.
This is 1D. Is that Davion as a baby?
Yes.
What about this picture?
That's
1E.
David. That's Davion and David.
Is this one Davion and David's the younger one?
Yes.
And then this one is kind of hard to see, but 1F. What about this?
That's Davion and David again, man.
1G,
Davion.
1H.
That's Davion and David and baby Adam.
So Davion,
It's in the middle.
and this is who?
Adam.
Adam.
That's David.
1I.
So all those are Davion.
And then what about this 1J
Davion.
and 1K? Grown up now, huh?
Yeah, they done growed up. Like them the rest of Serena daughters. And I know,
Mhm.
yeah, I'm growing up. I could be David. Davion, been a minute. Hold on.
Haven't seen those in a long time, huh?
Yes.
I can approach the clerk. I'll pass the witness, Judge.
Okay, and, Mr. Hernandez, if you would like to conduct your direct examination?
Thank you, Your Honor. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
I'm going to be asking you some questions regarding Rashad Murphy,
Yes.
okay? What is your relationship to Rashad Murphy?
I'm his baby uncle.
And is he the gentleman that's sitting, I don't know if you can see over the screen, sitting next to me?
Yes, sir.
You're his uncle, correct?
Yes, sir.
And would it be correct to say you're his paternal uncle, the brother of David Murphy, correct?
Yes.
Now, have you known Rashad since pretty much birth?
Yes, sir.
Describe to the jury the childhood, the environment that he was raised in.
My father got a master's degree in psychology. He took his criminal justice course. He served.
Who is this, your?
This is Leroy Murphy, which is my father, which is his
Okay.
grandfather. And we grew up on the east side of Jacksonville, in a home off Iona Street. And he pretty much raises, to play sports, to complete school, and to meet our expectations.
Let me ask you about Rashad's father. Was he a positive or a negative influence in his life?
He was in and out of prison most times, but my father and
I'm talking about Rashad's father.
yes,
Okay.
he was in and out of prison most times, but he didn't raise little Rashad, but he was in and out of prison most of his life.
Would it be correct to say that he was in many ways an absent father?
Yes.
Are you aware of any abuse that he gave to either Rashad or Rashad's mother, his wife?
Can you rephrase that?
Are you aware of him being abusive, the father of Rashad being abusive?
Oh, no, sir.
You don't know that?
No, sir, I do.
Oh, you do know that. Tell the jury about that.
He was.
Your Honor, he's answered.
Okay. What about Rashad's mother? Was she did she have an addiction to drugs?
At some point in his life, she had, not all his life, but some point.
Okay. Are you have any knowledge of her being a crack addict and eventually living on the streets?
She always had a place to stay, but she dealt in a portion of all his life, but most times, and she was on drugs. Not all his life, though.
Would it be accurate to say that you have referred to Rashad's father as dead weight?
Yes.
Okay. Now, what kind of neighborhood did Rashad grow up in? Was it a neighborhood that there was gun violence?
Not direct at our house, but surrounding areas, yeah.
Okay. And what are you aware of? Are you aware of his relationship with Charmaine Steger and his children?
Distance, yeah, but not like watching it hands-on, but I've been gone 18 years. I've been in prison 18 years.
You've been in prison for different times, correct?
Yes,
Did you try to help be somewhat of a father figure to Rashad when you were not in custody?
always have.
But when you've been incarcerated for a long period of time, correct?
Yes.
And on more than one occasion?
First time in prison,
Okay. When were you sent to prison?
2012.
Okay, so that would have been 14 years ago, correct?
Like 17.
Okay. When after you were incarcerated, was there any other male influence other than his grandfather?
Yes.
Okay. Who other than his grandfather?
I got a Miller brother, very financially set. My father, and I got cousins like brothers. We all close family. He had at least 9 to 8 strong African American family members.
Okay. Would you describe, maybe I worded it in a way because you said the surrounding areas, would you describe the area or the neighborhood that Rashad grew up in as a fairly high crime area?
I mean, it'd be hard to say portion of the whole east side of Jacksonville. I mean, we can describe it as that, but not out the direct home.
Tell the jury about what you know about Rashad. What kind of person is he?
Great. He was a great kid growing up. Great.
Did you see him as a father and a husband?
Yes.
What about how was he with his children?
Great. He even had custody of his little brother and little sisters. He made me proud.
In addition, are you aware that there was a point in time that in addition to his own children, he was taking care of his siblings?
Yes.
What about, what knowledge, if anything, do you have about his time, of Rashad's time in a foster home? Was there do you remember that he was placed in a foster home?
I can't recall that.
Okay. May I have a moment, Your Honor?
Yes.
Nothing else, Your Honor.
Okay, Cross?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Murphy, I'm going to ask you about Davian Murphy first, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And I know that Ms. Toomey, she asked you about Davian Murphy's father, David Murphy, and you said that you had known that he was diagnosed with schizophrenia and he had been in and out of mental hospitals. Is that correct?
Yes.
And you had testified that you were sometimes concerned when Davian would be with his father and go into certain apartments. Is that correct?
I mean, his living environment.
Where he was living. But you said that even though you had concerns, you were not able to give the defense attorney or this jury one incident that you had recalled that had happened when Davian was with his father. Is that correct?
Not that I recall. I'm not saying incidents never happened, but not that I can recall that.
Not that you could recall. She was just asking you if you had ever been concerned, and you said that in general you did have some concerns, correct?
It just was the housing. I was always raised in a home, and Davion's mother raised him in a home.
And I'm going to ask you that next. Davion's mother, Serena, she was a wonderful mother. Isn't that correct?
Yes.
And she is the parent that had primary custody of him when he was living with her. Is that
Yes,
also
yes.
correct, sir? And when you said that Davian was with your parents, his grandparents, your mother and your father. That was a wonderful home, wasn't it, sir?
Yes,
And I think that you described in your deposition, although it may not have been the best environment, it absolutely was a great home to be raised in. Is that true, sir?
my father's in the military.
Yes. You said that he was in the military, always hardworking, and had a very structured environment for his kids and his grandkids. Isn't that true, sir?
Yes,
And you described your experience growing up, and Davion and your nephew, Rashad, when they were in that home, that they also had a loving, supportive home with their grandparents. Isn't that true, sir?
yes,
And even though it may not have been the best environment and surrounding area, they could not have asked for a better upbringing. Is that true, sir?
I mean, yeah, I mean, they could have, but it was a struggle. I mean, we wasn't rich, but
I understand that, sir, but I think what you described is when you're talking about the way that they were raised and loved and supported
yes,
by your parents. Isn't that true?
yes, yes.
And now I want to ask you a few questions about Rashad Murphy, your nephew.
Yes.
Again, same situation. Whenever Rashad Murphy was living with your parents, his grandparents, again, he had a loving and supportive grandfather. Isn't that true, sir?
Yes.
Loving, supportive grandmother.
Yes.
And even though you may not have been in the home all the times that Rashad Murphy was there, from your recollection, he did well in sports, football in particular. Isn't that true?
Yes.
And so I asked you also about his grades. You said that he also did very well in school. Is that
Yes.
true?
Yes.
He continued to play football in high school. Is that true, sir?
Yes.
And part of that, he would have to keep up his grades in order to be able to do that. Isn't that true, sir?
Yes.
So you knew enough about his schooling to know that he did that.
Yes.
You also said it wasn't just football. There was a time when he also was doing boxing.
Yes. When he was younger, yes.
Yes. So his parents or your grandparents made sure that he had activities and was able to do that. Isn't that true, sir?
Yes.
And in fact, you just went through some wonderful pictures that were taken during that childhood. Isn't that true, sir?
Yes, that was Davion, right?
Oh, I apologize. It was Davion. Thank you for
Yes.
correcting me. But same could be said for Rashad. He was able to do those activities and had that normal type of activities in the home with your grandparents. Isn't that true, sir?
Yes.
Celebration of birthday parties, stuff like that.
Yes.
And you described him that he was a great kid growing up. Isn't that true?
Yes.
And you don't have any recollection or any knowledge about what his time was like in foster care. Is that true, sir?
I wouldn't recall.
Your Honor, may I have one moment?
Yes.
And And sir, when asked specifically about any sort of abuse to Rashad by his father, you said that there was no abuse as far as you knew. Is that correct?
Not that I recall.
And it sounds like from what you've testified with regards to Rashad and both Davion Murphy, that with regards to your family, your parents, your mother, your dad, their grandparents, and all of your other family, that you were a very close-knit family. Is that correct?
Yes, yes.
And when needed, they would step in and assist with the raising of all their grandchildren if that was needed. Isn't that true, sir?
Yes.
And you have described, when you're talking about Davion Murphy's mother, that she was a great parent and was there for Davion. Isn't that true, sir?
Yes.
I have nothing further, Your Honor.
Okay, redirect Ms. Jimmy.
You were transported from prison to be here, right?
Yes, yes, ma'am.
And you don't want to be here, do you?
I mean, for my nephews, yeah, but in general, no.
In general, no, you'd rather not.
For my nephews, I do anything. I love them, as long as it's positive and righteous.
All right. let me ask you about some of the questions that the prosecutor just asked you. Isn't it true that as part of your growing up, individuals do not want to come to court and testify?
Objection, Your Honor, leading and beyond the scope of.
Sustained.
Do you keep in contact with any of your family members?
My father just died, so it ain't the same without him. Yeah, but no.
I'm sorry to hear that. But you keep in contact with your children?
Yes.
And I think you said your fiance.
Baby mother.
Well, before you said she's your fiance, so she's not your fiance?
Baby mother.
Okay. How many of those do you have? Just one?
2 different.
2. Okay. Would you agree with me that there is fear of retaliation for
Objection, Your
testifying?
Honor.
I'm gonna sustain the objection.
Has anyone told you not to testify here today?
No.
No? You sure?
Okay, listen, he said no.
I didn't hear the last. You said no?
No,
Yeah,
ma'am.
he said no.
That's all I have.
Okay, can you redirect Mr. Hernandez?
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Murphy, there was a time, obviously, that your mother passed, correct?
Yes.
Rashad's grandmother.
Yes.
Would you agree that the family started falling apart pretty much after that?
Yes.
You have a nephew named Gerard Adams, correct?
Yes.
And he passed, correct?
Yes.
Did that also have a very negative influence on your family?
Big one.
And he is your nephew or was your nephew?
Nephew. He like a son. He's just my nephew.
Now, again, you, correct me if I'm wrong, I think your testimony is that you have been in custody since 2012.
Yes.
So anything that has happened in Rashad's life would have happened, that happened after 2012, you would have no knowledge, correct?
It all depends. You know, I talk to him all the time through the phone. You know.
And even if you did not see a certain, you were not with, correct me if I'm wrong, were you living with Rashad during the time that his father was present? Or were you
Rashad.
living in different homes?
I mean, my father stayed with my brother stayed with which is Rashad's father. He stayed with my mother and my father.
Were you living at the house at that time?
And kind of in and off.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, very good. And, all right, I'm gonna have you all step in real quickly. We need to get another witness on the stand.
All right.
Okay, very good. And thank you, Mr. Winston Murphy can be taken out. We have another inmate, correct?
Yes, Judge.
Okay, so we'll get those witnesses switched out.
And Judge, we would just let this next witness, if they could not be shown on camera.
Okay, this next witness does not wish to have their identity disclosed. Jury. Okay.
All rise. All jurors are in.
Okay, very good. Ms. Toomey, call your next witness. Okay, and Mr. Gooden, if you could please just stand up and raise your right hand.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give in this class will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
That's what I do.
Okay, very good. Have a seat and you may proceed.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. How you doing?
Good, how are you?
Good.
Okay. What's your name?
Adam Gooden.
Junior?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Do you know who you walked past earlier, Davion Murphy?
Yes, ma'am.
How do you know him?
It's my big brother.
He's your big brother. How old are you?
I turned 24 Monday.
Okay. And you're incarcerated
Yes, ma'am.
for what?
Possession of a firearm by a convicted felon.
Okay. So how many felony convictions do you have? If you know.
Really just 2.
2?
Yes.
Okay. Can you tell us a little bit about your older brother, Davion?
Yes. He inspired me a lot to do a lot of things, you know, for as showing me the ways of life, and always told me, you know, keep my head up. You know, he's a good person, you know, and we both he taught me how to work a 9-to-5 job. You know, I worked my first 9-to-5 job with him. You know, we fed the homeless, took care of my mom. She had open heart surgery and stuff like that. You know, he was always there for others, always there for me and the rest of us. And he never treated me like I was an outsider and stuff like that. He always handled me like a little brother. Always been there for me.
So you have a different last name than Davion. So you
Yes.
have a different father?
Yes.
Okay. You said that your mother has some health problems.
Yeah, she had open heart surgery.
When was that?
This is like, I think this was last year.
Does she have any other health issues? If you know.
Yes, she dealt with strokes from here and there.
She's had several strokes.
Yes.
Is there a point in time where Davion assumed responsibility, kind of being the parental role in the house?
Yes, it was a time where both of our fathers weren't there, so he was more of a father than just a big brother.
So both, what's your father's name? Adam?
Yes.
So was that the time where Davion's father was incarcerated or got arrested and incarcerated?
Yes.
And then what happened to your dad?
My dad was incarcerated at too.
Is he still incarcerated?
No, ma'am, he's out now. But my mom and them, they're divorced. They're not together.
Okay. So when your dad was incarcerated or in prison and Davion's father was in prison, he took over the parental role of the house.
Yes, ma'am.
Can you tell me a little bit about that? Would he cook or how did he do that?
Cook, we clean up. And I have another brother out there, brothers and sisters out there. You know, he made sure we always in a house curfew. You know, my mom was in the hospital. You know, he was there to make sure the house was in order and everything fell in place the way she wanted it.
Do you remember how old Davion would have been when that was going on? When it started?
13.
What about when there were times in the house that there were no food? What would Davion do?
I know he'll make a way for us. Like it was one time we had sold some shoes. We sold a game system and stuff like that. You know, just to feed each other and stuff like that.
And would your mother often work at night?
Yes.
What about the stability of where you guys were living? Did you move often or were you stable or what?
always moving.
Why is that?
I really never wonder why. I really never, understood why.
Did you ever, and you still don't understand why?
You know,
Did your mother eventually marry someone else?
yes, I have a stepfather,
What's his name?
Jawan.
Did you get along with him?
Yes,
Is there a point in time where you and Davion did not get along with him?
it was a point of time. Yes, ma'am.
And what was the issue? Why'd you guys fight?
It was basically just, not accepting having another man in the house, besides our father or my big brother.
And was there a
So
man?
it was hard dealing with having another male figure in the house.
So it would have been Davion's father, your father, and then new stepfather.
Yes.
Did you see a lot of violence in Jacksonville when you were living there?
I have,
Can you tell us a little bit about that?
I'm gonna
basically,
object as to relevance.
Overruled, go ahead, I'll give you a little bit of latitude.
at the Reigns and Lee game, my cousin was shot, in front of me, and it starting to get over it, but it still hurt a little bit thinking about it. Lost a lot of friends, lost a lot of family. Grandma passed away. My mom almost passed away in front of me.
How did Davion cope with these types of things that you saw?
It was times where we was always taught to just pray.
Okay. Thank you, sir. I wish you well.
Okay, Cross?
Just briefly, Your Honor.
Mr. Goodson, it sounds like you looked up to and admired your older brother, Davion Murphy. Is that true, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
And you had a loving relationship with your older brother?
Yes, ma'am.
And you described him as someone during the time when you were growing up who actually at times had to take over the household. Isn't that true, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
And that was a big responsibility, and he was able to do that. Isn't that true, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
And in fact, you said that he was the one that taught you how to work a 9 to 5.
Yep.
Your Honor, do we have some tissues or something? I think that he is getting a little emotional.
Sure. Oh, I have one right here. There you go.
Thank you.
You're ready for the next question? Okay.
Yes,
Sir,
ma'am.
and I think you said, you told the jury that he is the one that taught you how to work a 9 to 5 job. Is that true, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
And was that by example because that was something he also was willing to do for your family?
Yes, ma'am.
So he was able to hold down a 9 to 5 job?
Yes, ma'am.
And it sounds like he also helped manage the household when your mother was sick. Isn't that true, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Made sure everything stayed in order and that your other siblings were well cared for during that time.
Yes, ma'am.
Your Honor, that's all the questions that I have.
Okay, redirect? Okay, thank you. May this witness be excused? Okay, so I'm gonna have you all step it one more time very quickly, okay?
All
We'll
right.
be back. Very good, thank you. The witness can be removed from the courtroom. Okay, so Ms. Toomey, is that it for you? Was that your last witness?
Judge, I was going to call one witness to the screenshots, but apparently the state has an objection to them, so if I could.
Okay,
These were screenshots that were sent to my mitigation specialist
from whom?
from my client.
Your client's mother?
Yes.
Okay,
Screenshots are from my client's mother to my mitigation specialist regarding not coming to this trial. And the state has a copy. I can approach this.
Sure. So state what's your position on this.
Judge, we are objecting. I read the content of the screenshot, which I guess was sent to their investigator, showing how she does not want to appear and how she's fearful. Judge, I don't believe that that is appropriate mitigation evidence. It is not testimony regarding the defendant's background or history. I think it's highly inflammatory and prejudicial and has no relevance to mitigation.
Okay, so it,
I think it is relevant to his background and his character. I mean, his mother is indicating that, I mean, she loves her son, but wasn't willing to come here because she's afraid. She's fearful for his retaliation. That's part of my client's background and his cousin's background.
Judge, there are numerous witnesses that had the same concern, and we have been shielding their faces from the camera,
right,
and she's not subject to cross-examination.
okay, so, based upon, I've reviewed this, and I'm gonna, at this point, sustain the state's, objection. It really is her just saying that she really doesn't give anything meaningful, just says that she's too scared to come, and the state's point is well taken. Lots of other witnesses have testified in this case, so. So you can mark it as a court exhibit, okay? And so we'll mark that. Do we have any other court exhibits yet? This will be just court exhibit 1 for defendant Davion Murphy, okay? Okay, so other than that, is Ms. Toomey, or you have no other witnesses?
If I could have a moment.
Sure. So, Mr. Davion Murphy, as your counsel is ready to rest your case, this is the part of the penalty phase where you have to make the decision whether or not you wish to testify or remain silent. So as our previous discussion during guilt phase, do you understand that you and only you can make this decision? Do you understand that? And you understand that no one, including your attorneys, can pressure you or threaten you or coerce you in any way in order to get you to either testify or to remain silent. Do you understand that? All right, and have you made a decision? Do you wish to testify or do you wish to remain silent? Yeah, of course, sure. Yep. And while they're talking, where are we on the other 2 Rashad Murphy witnesses that are going to be appearing via Zoom?
Judge, I think we're fine as we're ready. Yes, Judge, we spoke, had an opportunity to speak to both of them. It's my understanding, I know one was requested for both defendants, Rashad Murphy and Davion Murphy, and I would just ask counsel to confirm it will only be for Rashad Murphy after those conversations.
Okay. And while they're talking, so Mr. Rashad Murphy, it seems like we're getting close to your counsel resting as well. So this would be the part of the, okay, you're already shaking, you already know what I'm going to say, which is fine. That's good. That means you've been paying attention, which is good. But I do have to have the colloquy with you. Do you understand that this is the part of the trial, the penalty phase, where you have to make the decision whether or not to testify or remain silent? Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
And do you understand that this decision is solely yours? No one, including your attorneys, can in any way pressure you, threaten you, or coerce you in any way in order to get you to either testify or remain silent. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
And what is your decision? Do you wish to?
I wish to remain silent.
You wish to remain silent, okay? And has anyone pressured you or threatened you in any way in order to get you to make that decision?
No, ma'am.
And has anyone made you any assurances regarding what the outcome of these proceedings will be?
No, ma'am.
And you understand no one can, because no one knows what any jury will do. Do you understand that?
No, ma'am.
Oh,
Yes, ma'am.
you understand?
I understand that.
Okay, all right, very good. Okay.
And both of my two witnesses are on.
Okay, yeah, I just need to get the Zoom up and running again. Okay, and as to Davion Murphy, Mr. Murphy, you now had sufficient time to speak with your attorneys. And what is your decision? Do you wish to testify or remain silent? You're to remain silent. And has anyone, including your counsel, in any way pressured you or threatened you or coerced you in any way to make this decision?
Yes.
And has anyone made you any promises regarding what the outcome of the penalty phase will be?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand? No one can, because no one can ever predict what a jury will do. Do you understand that? Okay, very good. Okay, so we've got 2 Zoom witnesses left. I'm going to read the stipulation, Mr. Rashad Murphy's stipulation as well. So when the jury comes back in, Ms. Toomey, you're going to rest in front of the jury. Then we will proceed forward with the remaining witnesses for Rashad Murphy. And then once those witnesses are done testifying, and then once I read the stipulation, then you will rest in front of the jury.
Correct.
Okay? And then state you've got your 2 rebuttal witnesses, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. And so do you want to get going on that today? At least get it started? Because we'll have,
I don't believe either one is available. Dr. Warner is probably en route right now from Gainesville coming down.
okay, that's fine. So that's it. No, we'll recess for the evening and they'll be ready tomorrow morning at 9 a.m.
Yes.
That's what I'm
Dr.
hearing.
Wakestein is at 1 o'clock by Zoom.
Okay. So then, okay, so then what we'll do is we will, sorry, I'm trying to do too many things at one time. Let me get the Zoom up and running first. Oh, okay, and the court reporter's computers, everything's, and we're trying just to get it done for today.
My computer just froze, so I just need to restart it. And I will be ready.
Case hold.
You want me to do that now?
Send whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I do see Jamila Murphy in the waiting room. And Hazel Dickerson is in the waiting room.
Mr. Dickerson, that's who you're calling
Hazel
for?
Dickerson is the one I'm calling first.
Okay. Okay. Court reporter, let me know when
They
you're
do
ready.
not want their faces shown on,
And they do not want their faces shown? Neither one.
neither one.
Okay, and again, for the media, neither one of the witnesses appearing via Zoom wants their identity broadcast. Okay. As soon as the court reporter is ready to go, ready to go.
Yes, Judge.
Finkelstein, you get Teacher's Pet Award because you sent me your non-statutory mitigators in Word form, so you did exactly what I asked you to do. Yes, I'm waiting on those, and then I did ask for Mr. Chance and Mr. Rashad Murphy if your assistants can just send it in Word form. It came in PDF, and I'm not computer savvy enough to convert. It just makes my life easier if I can cut and paste.
Okay,
So I have them, but it just makes it easier if I can cut and paste. So.
it in Word as well. After I got it.
Okay, thank you. So your second teacher's pet. Okay, you ready to go? Okay, excellent. Okay, I think we're ready, so let's bring in our jury. Right.
All rise. All jurors are in, Judge.
Okay, very good. Everyone have a seat. Welcome back in. And Ms. Toomey, on behalf of Davion Murphy, do you have an announcement at this time? Okay, very good. And Mr. Hernandez, as to Rashad Murphy, who's your next witness?
Hazel Dickinson.
Okay.
And for the record, Your Honor, Dickerson.
Okay, Ms. Dickerson, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. So can you please raise your right
Okay.
hand? Can you raise your right hand to be sworn?
Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give in this cause will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
I do.
Thank
I
you.
swear.
Okay, you may proceed, Mr. Hernandez.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ma'am, could you again state your name for the record?
Hazel Dickerson.
And do you know the defendant, Rashad Murphy?
Yes, I do.
How do you know him? What is your relationship to him?
He's my birth nephew. My maternal nephew, but I also adopted him.
Okay. So have you known Rashad pretty much his entire life?
Yes, I did.
And can you describe, if we could talk first about the family, his parents, what do you know about his father?
I know that, well, when you say about his father, what am I speaking of? As far as, no.
I'm sorry, I'm referring to Rashad Murphy's father. Did you know him? Can you tell us a little bit
Yes.
of what you know about him?
I know him, but there's really not much for me to tell except that he hasn't been very active in his life, but I know him.
Okay. When you said he was not very active in his life, are you referring to being a father figure for Rashad?
That's correct.
Would it be correct to say he was not a good father?
That's a tough call because all I just know is that he wasn't active. I don't want to say good or bad because that's categorizing someone that I haven't been around.
Okay, but when you say not active, are you basically saying not involved in Rashad's life? Would that be correct?
That's correct.
Okay. What about Rashad's mother? Did she have some drug problems?
Yes, she did.
And was there a time when Rashad was very young that he was actually placed in foster home?
That's correct.
And did you become aware that there were problems with the foster homes and him having been abused?
We weren't aware of anything at first because they kept them away from us for a year, about a year and a half, so we didn't know where they were. And it was a family member who he saw in the store. And from that point is when we were able to get to the nitty gritty, get down to the nitty gritty of things. And Rashad is the person who, when he recognized his Aunt Peaches, he
Take your time.
he pretty much fought hard for him and his brother to get out of their situation, and how he was able to subliminally notify anyone, we don't know, but that was something that he was able to do. And that's how we were able to get involved like we did, because they kept them from us.
Do you recall how old Rashad was when he was placed into foster care? Would it be some? Go ahead.
I want to say, sir, that he was 9. I'm not so good with the numbers now. The little brain is a little fried, but I want to say he was 9.
Okay. And do you know how long he was in foster care?
Right. 3 years. 3 years. I don't want to be inaccurate, but it was a number of years, because a year and a half we didn't see them. And then once they got to another family who was able to agree, I guess, I don't know how Georgia did it, but they agreed to let us see them. That took some time, so we were able to do visits, see them in Georgia.
So did you say that you were not able to even see him for the first year and a half? Is that correct?
No, we didn't even know where they were.
Okay.
That's correct.
And then he was in foster care for at least, what, another year or 2 or 3 before he was released?
Yes, I would say another two years.
And when you found out about the problems that he was having in foster care, were you the one that was instrumental in trying to help him? And I think you referred to yourself as his adopted mother.
Right. I wasn't the instrumental one in being the initial hands-on, but what I was the person who made sure his grandmother, grandfather, Phyllis and Leroy Murphy, and my mother, Elfrida Gaddis, were always on set. You know, they were at court, they were visitation, whatever had to be done, I was the one to make sure they got there.
Now, do you, after you were able to have contact with him and after the first year and a half, did you become aware of some activities that Rashad was involved in, sports, boxing, things of that nature?
Yes.
What do you know about that?
He was involved with boxing. He actually, and you all could look that up, he was the foster mom that he ended up with, Miss Dallas. He did boxing matches, and he was the champion for his age group. That's why I think the age 9 or 10 sticks out, because he was very young, but he was good. And he made it. He was the champion for that state in his age group, whatever she had in him.
Now, can you describe what the the environment, the neighborhoods that he grew up in, were they communities that had a lot of violence?
I would say so.
Have you had the opportunity to observe Rashad as a father?
Yes.
What kind of father have you observed him to be?
He's an excellent dad. He's overprotective, I know that, of his kids, based on what he's been through. Very overprotective. He, as far as the boys, he loved to have them in sports. The girls, of course, he dopes with them, you know. Daddy's girls is what he has. And he's the one. He's the one that loved to cook for him and do all that stuff. He's the guy. He's that guy.
Did you also observe him as a brother, as someone, how he dealt with his siblings? Please, yes, is that, you're not in your head, but for the record, you need to answer.
No, I was gonna answer, it's just
Okay.
that,
Okay.
I get choked up a little bit, so I apologize. But, with his siblings, definitely, they came first after those kids, or maybe alongside his kids, and, when their mom passed, he actually refused to be ignored as far as wanting the opportunity to have custody of his sister and brother, the younger ones.
So you observed him not only being a good father, but also trying to become a father figure to his younger brother and sister.
That's correct.
What have you observed of Rashad and his faith in Jesus?
Rashad, are raised as Seventh-day Adventist, and he can flip that Bible. He's very good at that, and he went to Seventh-day Adventist school, elementary school, because my mother taught there she was teacher's aide there for several years, over 20 years. So, Christian education and being part of the church was something that my mother, who was Alfreda Gaddis, once he came on our side in Florida, she definitely kept him in church.
What do you know? Do you know the Murphys?
Yes.
Okay. What did who are they, and what did they have to do in Rashad's life?
The Murphys are actually excellent. Leroy and Phyllis Murphy. They were also strong in faith, in their religion. Leroy was a disciplinarian. And Phyllis, of course, she was the doting grandma. And everybody always flocked over to their house. Everyone was welcome, no one was a stranger. So they were great, great grandparents.
These are the grandparents of Mr. Rashad Murphy.
That's correct.
Okay. Now, when his grandmother died, did you notice any impact on Rashad Murphy?
Are you speaking on Phyllis? Because one of his grandmothers he didn't know, which was
obviously, I'm
my mother, yeah.
The grandmother and grandfather that he had contact with, and when they passed.
Okay.
Please go ahead.
Okay.
I didn't interrupt you.
I'm sorry, I do apologize,
No,
but,
no, my fault.
did I see any change? Rashad has always, been a quiet type individual, very quiet. So he would keep things to himself, keep himself, you'd have to try to figure out what he was thinking. So I think that's just that part of him, that's that strong part of him. So to say that if I saw any changes in him, I couldn't say. I just know that he coddled his kids more because they didn't have their matriarch around. He coddled the cousins, everybody. He just kept close to them. So I would say, wait, yes, that's a form of showing that he was affected by not wanting to lose him or making sure he was around where he had to be for as long as he could be around.
Would it be accurate to say that Rashad, as a child, a small child, witnessed domestic violence?
Yes.
And
Yes.
I'm referring to his mother and his father.
Yes, his mother, his father, his mother, and her husband at the time. And probably his mother and, other people that may have been in her life due to her lifestyle.
And I may have asked you already, I'm not trying to be repetitive, but did his mother have drug problems?
Yes.
Okay. And was that a primary reason or one of the reasons why Rashad was placed in a foster home?
Yes.
Okay. Despite all that, from your observations, did he love his mother? Rashad, love his mother?
Yes.
And did you notice him also being affected when his mother died?
Yes.
Was there a time that you were with Rashad and you sent him to New Jersey to around 14 to go to school?
Yes.
Tell the jury about
Myself
that.
and mother.
What was the
We
reason
sent
for that?
him because so he could become engaged in sports. My sister had a lot of connections up there in football because that was his love, actually. And my sister has access to, quite few resources in schools up there. And we wanted to give it a shot to see if he could become a part of something like that because he loved football. And it worked for me. It worked. And schools were calling for him at his young age. When he was in high school, they had letters out. There's a video, my sister still has it, of him out there on the field. He was their star player. So it did work, but he was missing his family.
I've asked you about him as a father, correct?
Yes.
And I'm not sure if I asked you about his relationship with Charmaine Steger. Are you aware of that relationship?
Yes.
Can you describe that relationship, asking you about what you've observed as Rashad Murphy as a husband or father to the children?
That relationship, the two were inseparable. And she was actually one of the main reasons why he wanted to even come back. because
Come
that was
back,
back
I'm
in
sorry, come back from New Jersey?
New Jersey.
Okay.
He was missing his family and her. That young puppy love, he had that. They had that. So that's how long they've been together.
Miss Dickerson, did you observe him to be a working person who regularly worked? Rashad?
No,
Did he get, you don't know if he
I
had
didn't.
jobs or not?
no.
Okay. If he is sentenced to life in prison, would you continue to have contact with him and maintain your relationship, even visiting him in prison?
Most definitely. Yes, sir.
May I have a moment here?
Yes.
One final question, ma'am. If you could tell the jury what kind of person is the person that you know Rashad Murphy to be?
The main thing that stands out, and two main things that stand out for Rashad is he's a protector and very smart. Two main things, a protector and he's very smart. Three, quiet. He's a quiet individual. You never know what he's thinking. Kind-hearted.
Thank you. That's all I have.
Okay, Ms. Ismer?
Good afternoon, ma'am. Can you hear me all right?
Yes, I can.
I just want to follow up with you. So when you learned that Rashad Murphy and Shaheem Murphy were in foster care, did you work together with the family members that you mentioned? So his grandparents and his great grandmother to get him out of the situation he was in?
Yes, actually, I was there when they were taken. I was there, and they would not turn the kids over to us. And we found that unusual, and we thought that we would hear something from them, and we didn't. And it just went on where we kept seeking ways of trying to find out where these kids are, and they just wouldn't. Well, Rashad actually was in school when they took him.
Right, but you were at least trying to get custody or a stable environment outside of the home he was in with your sister.
Oh, my niece, well, Darlene, she's my niece.
Oh, I
His
apologize.
mom is my niece. Yes, it's okay.
But you were working together with your other family members to try to get custody of him? Is that a yes?
Yes,
I
well,
apologize. Yes. And you did mention when Mr. Hernandez was asking you that there was some physical abuse in the foster home. Was that Mr. Rashad Murphy seeing physical abuse of the other children inside of that home?
Of his brother.
And once you all learned, but you had no information about any kind of physical abuse when he was in the custody of your niece, or abuse of him when he was in the foster care system, or even afterward, right?
No.
But once you all learned of this information, did you still work with your mother, so his great-grandmother, Miss Gaddis, and his grandparents, Leroy and Phyllis, to get custody of him?
Yes, my mother actually moved to St. Mary's in order to get him. And Phyllis and Leroy were there as well.
And once it was reported what was occurring, did Rashad and Shaheem Murphy actually get removed and placed with another individual?
Yes.
And was that Miss Dallas?
Yes,
And how was their time with Miss Dallas? What would you describe that as?
awesome. Miss Dallas was, probably one of the best things that ever happened to them outside of our family, because Miss Dallas is the one who defied the odds of the foster care odds, and she would make sure that she would bring those kids, those boys, to Jacksonville. Their sister Diamond was a singer, and she was a little thing singing in church, and she would make sure they come to her church performances, and anything that we were having, Miss Dallas would make sure they stayed in touch with family, which is something that is very rarely heard of. So we all love Miss Dallas.
And did Miss Dallas continue that for the other 2 years or so until you all actually got custody of Rashad Murphy?
Yes, Miss Dallas actually didn't want to let them go, and neither did they want to leave her. They didn't want to leave her, but the state of Georgia made me adopt them, or else they would put them back in foster care and not with Miss Dallas.
And
So-
you were ultimately able to adopt them, and then they stayed with you until they aged out, moved out on their own. Is that right?
Well, not aged out, but we were, I'm sorry, they were in between me and Phyllis and Leroy. And Mimi, Jamila Murphy. We were just one big unit. So I wouldn't say I'm the only one that had my hands on them. No, we all did.
But Rashad specifically, you had an opportunity to, even in what your hands were able to do, help to change the circumstances that you found him in at age 9, right?
Yes.
And you did that with his grandparents and his great grandma and his other aunts and uncles in the
Correct.
community. And you had an opportunity, you said, to send him to New Jersey. Did you help support him financially as well, all of you as a family?
Yes.
And it's only been in the last couple of years, I would say. Is that what you indicated, that he's lost several of his grandparents, the ones that really supported him through into his late 20s? Is that right?
Yes.
But,
Yes.
but he also does have, I think, what you described as stable, a very long time and stable relationship with Ms. Steiger through all of these hardships, right?
Yes.
Your Honor, may I have one moment?
Yes.
Ma'am, thank you. I don't have any other questions for you.
Okay, any redirect?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Okay. All right, Ms. Dickerson, thank you so much. Your testimony is now concluded, so you can log off of the Zoom, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Okay. All right, and your next witness?
Your Honor, Jamila Murphy, and Jamila is spelled Jameeelah. Sorry.
Hello, Miss Murphy, Jamila Murphy, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, can you turn your camera on?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Hold on. I'm trying to turn it on.
Sure.
Hold on. Okay, is it on?
We have a picture of you,
Okay.
but not, oh, there we go.
Okay.
Yes. All right, Miss Murphy, please raise your right hand.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give in this cause will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Thank you.
Yes.
Okay. You can put your hand down and you may proceed, Mr. Hernandez.
Your Honor, may we very briefly approach?
Yes. Okay, you may proceed.
May I proceed?
Yeah.
Ma'am, could you state your name, please?
Yes, Jamila Murphy.
And Miss Murphy, I'm going to be asking you some questions about Rashad Murphy. Do you know him?
Yes, sir.
How do you know him? What is your relationship to Rashad Murphy?
That's my nephew, my oldest brother's child.
Okay. And have you known Rashad Murphy his entire life?
Yes, sir.
Now, are you aware of the fact that he was taken by the state and placed in a foster home at an early age?
Yes, sir.
What do you know about his father? Was he an active role model, or was he pretty much out of Mr. Rashad Murphy's life?
He was pretty much out of his life. He was around. He was around, but he wasn't like being a father.
Okay. And are you aware of Rashad's mother having a variety of problems that ultimately that she basically had a drug problem?
Yes, sir.
And was that at least one of the reasons for Rashad to be removed from the home and put in foster care?
Yes, sir.
Now, are you personally aware of any problems that Rashad endured while in foster care?
Any problem?
Do you know anything about him being abused in foster care?
Probably maybe with his first foster parents he was with, but his last foster parents took good care of him.
Okay.
Miss Alice.
But
She
then-
took good care.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. That you made some reference to abuse in the first placement of the foster care?
I think, I'm not sure.
Now, despite the problems that Rashad's mother had, would it be accurate to say that Rashad loved his mother very much?
Oh, yes, he loved his mother.
And do you recall what his reaction was or his grief when his mother died?
He took it pretty hard. He had grief. And he took it pretty hard.
Now, can you describe the neighborhood that Rashad was raised in? Was it a crime area, drugs or violence or anything of that nature? Do you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
It wasn't bad.
I'm sorry?
I say it wasn't that bad, but yeah.
What do you know about Rashad and his relationship with his fiancee, Charmaine Steger?
That's I'm nervous. But they had a great relationship.
And did they have 4 children together?
Yes.
Did you observe Rashad as a father and as a male role model for them, as well as his relationship? Was it a positive relationship with his fiance?
Yes, sir, it was. He was great. He was a great father.
Okay, and can you give me examples of why you believe he was a great father? Did you see him participate in activities with him? Did he care for them? Things of that nature.
Yes, I seen he was make sure he clothed and fed them and make sure his children was in activities.
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Yeah, he was definitely making sure they was in, in school activities to going to the school and stuff like that, and, you know, just being there for his kids.
What about how did you also observe him having contact with your children or grandchildren? How did he?
Yes.
And tell the jury what you observed as him as a relative, as a person.
He's a loving big cousin, and he was a protector. You know, he's the first cousin, so he made sure all his cousins was good, and they looked up to him.
What about? I'm sorry, go ahead.
You can go ahead.
Okay. What about how he, what relationship, how he related to his own siblings, his brother and sister?
Oh, he was a great big brother. He made sure he was overprotective with them. He made sure everything was, you know, they was straight and everything, like school and stuff too.
Do you recall him actually, in addition to trying to support 4 kids and a fiance, do you recall him actually trying to adopt or at least take care of his brother and sister in many ways, including financially?
Oh, yes, I have. He did. He stepped up to his 2 younger siblings.
Do you love Rashad?
Yes, I do.
If he was sentenced to life in prison, would you continue to have contact with him and visit him and maintain as best as you can your relationship with Rashad?
Yes, I will.
Is there anything else about Rashad, any other qualities that I have forgotten to ask you?
No, I think you asked everything.
1 second, Your Honor, if I may.
Yes.
Ooh, I hate being nervous.
Ma'am,
Yes.
who is Rashad Adams? Gerard Adams.
That's my child.
Would you consider Rashad and Gerard, your child, close?
Yeah.
Okay, now is Rashad deceased? Gerard, I'm sorry.
Yes, he is.
Okay. And do you know who he's buried next to?
Yes, he's buried next to Rashad's mother and my mother.
Do you recall seeing Rashad and his reaction to the death of your son?
Yeah. Yes.
And what was that? Did it have an impact on him?
I think he did, of course, yes. He was the number one, yes.
Thank you.
Okay, Ms. Ismer?
That was like a brother to him, of course.
All right, you may proceed.
Ma'am, can you hear me okay?
Yes,
You said your son was like a brother to Rashad, right?
yes,
Did you have an opportunity to help to raise Rashad once Miss Hazel actually adopted him?
yes,
And did he stay with you a lot over the course of those years? So from 9 or so through when he was 18?
yes,
Did he get an opportunity when he was living with you to also be living with Joe Rod?
yes, he did.
Is that why you're saying that they have a close relationship like brothers?
Yes,
And I'll change subjects, okay? When he was coming to your house when he was a teenager, did you sometimes take him to school?
yes, I did.
And did you talk to him about school and what was happening at high school?
Yes.
How was he doing in high school with grades?
Oh, great. He was an 80 honor student. He was good.
And you were proud of him for that?
Yes,
The home that you provided to him and your own children, would you call it stable?
yes,
Did he have the opportunity to drive or go back and forth between your house and Miss Dickerson's house and his grandparents' house and his great-grandma's house?
yes,
Did you all work together to raise him, even despite the issues that his mom was having at the time?
yes.
And did he have any learning disabilities or anything like that that you were aware of throughout the course of those teenage years before he moved out?
No, not one of, no.
Did you all, once he moved out, was that to be living with Miss Steiger?
Yes,
And did you all remain supportive of him and his family as that family grew?
yeah,
I have no further questions, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay,
okay.
Mr. Hernandez, any redirect?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay, all right, thank you so much, Ms. Murphy. Your testimony is concluded, so I'm going to close out the Zoom, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Sure. Okay, and I do have a stipulation to read to you all. Again, you are to accept this as being proven. Comes now the Danny Hernandez, attorney for defendant Rashad Murphy, and assistant state attorney Scott Harmon, do hereby stipulate as follows. The defendant Rashad Murphy has no prior felony convictions, and this is signed by both Mr. Harmon and Mr. Hernandez. Okay? All right, Mr. Hernandez, do you have an announcement?
Your Honor, yes, at this time, defendant Rashad Murphy would rest.
Okay, very good. All right, members of the jury, it's 10-5, so we're going to go ahead and take our evening recess. I believe the state has 2 witnesses tomorrow, correct?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Okay, so we have to start going over jury instructions. So I'm going to have you all report tomorrow at 10 a.m. for the start, because we have to meet ahead of time to start going over the final set of jury instructions. We'll see how we do tomorrow. I anticipate we'll at least start closing arguments by the parties. I don't think we'll get through all of them. So I anticipate you all will come back Friday morning. There may be additional closing arguments or not, and then the final set of instructions. So again, you will get this case for penalty phase on Friday, okay? All right, so just remember my previous instructions. Don't talk to anybody about anything related to this case, and don't do any of the other stuff I've repeatedly asked you not to do, and we'll see you guys tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. start, all right? Thank you.
All right.
Okay, very good. All right, I emailed everybody what I have done so far as verdict forms and the final set of instructions. You guys can start looking over them tonight. I don't yet have the non-statutory mitigators for Davion or Rashad Murphy. they may have gotten sent to my GA, I just don't have them yet. So, anyway, so I will get those and then, we will meet at 9 a.m. tomorrow morning for our charge conference. Okay. So just start looking over everything and make sure I've got everything that we need in the jury instructions and the verdict form. Okay. Okay. And then for closing arguments, I don't know if defense counsel's talked about it. If you all have a lineup, if you all can agree on a lineup, great. If not, then I will just go in the order of the indictment, which is Isaiah Chance, Gathright, Rashad Murphy, Davion Murphy. Okay. All right. Very good. See you guys tomorrow morning at 9 a.m.
Court's adjourned.
What up, chat? So yeah, y'all see what just happened just there. I guess it looks like on Friday, jury will be getting deliberation started, and I kind of hate when they do that because I look at it like on the weekends. I feel like the jury's just trying to get away. It's that Friday, man. Let's give these boys life without parole, whatever. So let me know what y'all think in the comment section. This video will be posted on my live section of my profile. Make sure y'all like, share, subscribe. Stay tuned. Tomorrow morning we'll be back at 9 a.m. Eastern time. Go ahead and wrap this whole trial up, man. All right, let me know what y'all think in the comment sections. Go ahead and check out some of the shorts I've been dropping. It's your boy, Slick the Victor. Holla at you in a minute.
Yeah, baby mama, she a fan though. All my niggas, they strapped up in that van though. How you hate, you a fan, bro. Bust slow, the honeys, I'm in the Lambo. Yeah, baby.